From retro to next gen, we've got it all. I'm George, a Gen X grown-up, and this is Bit by Bit. Okay, here's a hardware bit from our friends over at hothardware.com, and this came to me via our Discord server from user Super Melon Time. He found this article and sent it over and said, "Hey George, this looks like a really cool handheld. I'd like you to talk about it in Bit by Bit." So here we go. This is Helegaly. I can't pronounce their name. Anyway, this is their new Action Pi unit that they're coming out with. Release date is July 5th. Of 2025, and let's get into some of the pricing in detail. So first of all, super aggressive pricing strategy. They're really going to beat some of the other big ones like Ioneo and Ambernick and those guys out there. Retailing this for $59.99 for the base model, which comes with a 64 gigabyte micro SD card. All the retro titles are preloaded, of course, as most of these units have. But if you want to get double the amount of card and possibly games, 128 gig model is $5 more at $64.99. That's really good, guys. In this space these days, with all the tariff stuff and the pricing and everything, that's a really good deal. Anyway, let's get to some more of the details. So we've got an A527 chipset, 8 Cortex A55 cores, 2 gigahertz, 2 gigs of RAM. Nice. Graphics. Ooh. The Mali G57 is in this. Okay, that's going to have some legs with some of the systems it can support. Yes, the model is from 2020, so it's 5 years old. But in these units, one of the ways they keep costs down is by using older graphics and CPUs so that they can afford to, get the price a little bit lower for the consumer. Let's go. Oh, here we go. 16 gigs of eMMC storage. Okay, solid, nice. Let's see what they're saying that it's okay. Linux-based Batocera. So if you're a Batocera fan, right up your alley, you're gonna feel right at home with this interface. And they're saying that this can handle games up to the PSP and the Dreamcast. So, all right. That's some good expected gameplay out of this system. Front end is the display here. They're saying it's a 4-inch 960/720. Okay, that's pretty solid. Now they're also giving a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. They're saying it'll last 1.5 to 2 days. That's all dependent upon how much you're playing with this system and how heavily you're leaning into it. The thing that I did notice in the article that I really liked here are all the connectivity options. So it's got Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 2 USB-C ports that handle charging and data transfer, a mini HDMI, and a 3.5 millimeter audio port. So a lot of good stuff. Of course, Hall effect analog sticks. That's a nice bonus on this system. For $60, guys, you really can't beat this system. I suggest heading over to their page right now. I'm sure there's a link here in this article. If not, just search for Helegaly, if I could pronounce it right. You could go buy it. And they're doing pre-orders right now. I might reach out to them myself and see if they want to send one over to GenXGrownUp for a review, because that's a hell of a system for that price, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here is an interesting bit of pinball news from CrystalDynamics.com. Pinball FX has released Tomb Raider Pinball, so there are 2 tables coming out in this pack. It's really interesting, so let's just take a quick little brief look at this. I guess it's like a press release or anything, but they say they claim titles of Crystal Dynamics. So I don't know if they're the ones who helped create this for Pinball FX, or if Zen Studios created themselves or whatever, but it is available now on Steam for $10 for the DLC, which a little pricey for only 2 tables. Usually you get 3 in one of their packs for that price, but I've taken a look at this video here. The tables do look like they're a lot of fun, a lot of good challenges, a lot of nice shots. It looks like it'll be worth it. I'm going to reach out to my friends over at Zen Studios and see if I can get myself a key so I can give this out a try, maybe put it on a live stream or something like that for you guys. But if you're not interested in Pinball FX on Steam or the PlayStation or Xbox or Switch, it's also going to be available on Zen Pinball World, which is the mobile app, Pinball FX VR on the Meta Quest, and the Legends Pinball 4K platform. So, or 4KP, sorry. Anyway, it's out in a lot of places that virtual pinball enthusiasts are going to enjoy and be able to find. So, yeah, if you're a fan of Lara Croft, it's time to get your pinball on. Okay, here's a bit we all hoped was coming from tomshardware.com. The Commodore purchasing deal is underway, ladies and gentlemen. So I talked about this in a few episodes previously, where a gentleman named Christian Perifractic Simpson was trying to acquire the rights to the Commodore brand and licensing because it was all under one company. And in his latest video that just came out a few days ago as I'm recording this, he has said that the deal is underway. They're just trying to figure out all the financing and everything, but he has a signed agreement apparently to do the stock purchase. So it looks to be a low seven-figure deal, somewhere between $1 and $5 million. I have not watched the full video. I just watched the first couple of minutes because I wanted to record this. I'll go back and watch it here in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, this is huge. This is the first time somebody who is well known in the social media circles as a fan of a brand is actually buying the brand. Now, it's not just him. There are other people involved in this deal, and they are still looking for angel investors to help with providing additional financing to help move the project forward, because you can't just buy the product. You got to have money to use the product and develop the product and everything like that. So this will be very interesting to see where this goes. We expect to see a lot more updates from the channel that Perifractic runs right now. Man, I'm just super excited. I hope that this goes through all the way, and God bless Christian Simpson. I hope he makes this happen. The link will be down in the description below if you want to go check it out for yourself, and absolutely go watch the 2 YouTube videos that are out right now on his channel that detail all the goings-on about the Commodore purchase. Here's an interesting bit from TimeExtension.com. This is an article talking about a BBC documentary for video games that was released back in 1984 called Commercial Breaks: The Race for Santa Software. The reason why this is a little bit unusual for me is Time Extension doesn't usually cover this type of content. It's usually releases, hardware, that kind of stuff. But they brought this to my attention, and they give a quick little article here just to give you a little bit of history about the company that is featured in the documentary, which is called Imagine Games. And in particular, the games that were, I guess, their big downfall in the 80s are Bandersnatch, which you guys might know from the Black Mirror fake video game episode that happened a few years ago, and Cyclops. Anyway, I'm not very knowledgeable on this subject because I didn't have a ZX Spectrum, but that's who this company created games for primarily, and that's what these games were going to be. But they apparently bit off more than they can chew, and they ended up falling apart trying to create these games. So this documentary that the BBC did a few years after the company went down is apparently controversial, I guess, and they haven't released it for, what is that now, 40 years, 41 years? My goodness. Anyway, I think this is something I'm definitely going to spend time watching. You've got the video right here. You can click on it and watch it inside this article, which I'll have the link down in the description for TimeExtension.com. But yeah, I love that they brought this to my attention because I didn't know anything about it. And now I'm going to spend some time watching a BBC documentary about a subject that I really want to learn about. I hope you will too. That's going to do it for the news making headlines in the gaming world right now. I am George, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, and I'll keep on bringing you the news bit by bit.